This is a quick tutorial on how to fix the autofocus motor on the Nikon DX 18105 zoom lens. I found nothing online, so this is basically just something I just did right now and the motor started working. Maybe I thought it could help someone else. So the first thing we want to do is underneath these contacts, there are two screws. One is over here and the other one is over here, so you want to remove those two, and then remove these three screws that are grabbing the round part here, the mounting part. So I'm going to be pausing this video every step. Now when you remove those three screws, you'll be able to remove this top part, but be very careful because there's like a wire, I think it's a negative wire there, and then a cable flex for this strip here, and there is a plastic tab over here. I don't know if you can see that. There you go. There's a plastic tab here, and there are some metal rings around it. So do not pull this yet. What you want to do is zoom out so you can clear that metal part, that plastic tab that's over there. That way, see, you get a lot more clearance. So once you do that, you want to remove these rings, and then there is a little cable on the back over there if you see it. Now with that, you can just simply pry down the black plastic cover, which will release the wire, and then you will push this strip towards the inside of this body, and it'll be a tight squeeze, but you'll be able to manage to get it out there. So let's take out the rings, always being careful with this flex over here. See how it's tangled between them? So I'll take out the ring. There we go. Remember always to put your screws apart, because from each zone you're working on, because they look alike but they're not. Okay, so now I'm gonna pause this because I can't do this one-handed, but basically what you want to do is push this inwards and then get it through this so we can remove all this plastic thing. And the last part of this is removing, if you want, this little screw down here, well, up here. Instead of removing the black one, the black plastic cover, that'll detach the cable from this part, you can also remove this screw. I actually did both because it ended up, cutting off, and then I just peeled a little bit more cable, put it back into the pin, and then put the plastic over the cable. So I'm going to pause this again to be able to do that. Okay, so I removed this screw from up here, and I just wanted to remind you guys that you must be careful with this autofocus switch here, the autofocus and the vibration reduction switch. There's a screw over here which you can actually remove before doing all this procedure and remove the flex, but I'll be doing that in a second, so I chose to do it afterwards. But be careful, because all of this part from the focus ring up is actually loose right now, so if I pull it up, it would actually come up, and there's a flex over here, a cable flex hooked up to that still, so be careful with that. Now in this part, what I did with these contacts, see, there you go. With these contacts, what I did, these ones, is that I actually pulled it up. Once both screws are up, I pulled it up. See, so it comes out. And then what you want to do is push it inwards. Sorry for the bad camera angles, but I'm filming and trying to see what I do and not rip anything. So what you want to do is tilt it a little bit and then push it in. I'm going to pause it again to be able to do this, with two hands. And then I'm going to come back. Alright, now after you've removed this, which is actually, that's how it looks, you have to remove this bottom screw here, and then this thing will just pop open. And there's this cable flex right, this connector right, let's see if I can focus here. There we go. That connector. So what you want to do is grab some pair of tweezers and actually remove it, which I won't be able to do one-handed apparently. So there we go. And after this, all that's left is you can bring this up and remove the focus ring also, and you have your electronics exposed. There we go. So basically, to cut to the chase, this is the focus motor. This one is the part you want to focus on. It's actually the thing that was giving me issues, I believe. The electrical parts, if you don't feel that it's 100% necessary for you to, tamper with them, just don't, because you could rip a ribbon or just do more damage than it already has. But I went ahead and just made sure every connection was tied in and cleaned anything that was visible and easy access and put it back together. But my main problem, I think, was the focus motor, which I think was stuck. Now, by turning the gears underneath the focus motor, which are the ones on the right that don't turn when you turn the manual focus ring, are the ones that you want to play with. Play with them for about 2 to 3 minutes or whatever, rotate them counterclockwise and clockwise, and loosen them up a bit. And after that, we'll just reassemble it, and it should work. If that was your problem, obviously. You can actually remove this screw. Yeah, because I hadn't actually noticed that you could do that either. Remove that screw. You can detach this cable, which is only pressure, a little bit of pulling. That should get it off. There we go. And there's a screw under here also. So we're going to remove that too. Like I said, sorry for the bad focusing, the angles, but I am doing this one-handed. And then you can remove this. And this is your important part. This is what's failing you. So I figured out that it was either an electronic problem, obviously, like electrical problems with the connectors and stuff. So what I did is I went ahead and cleaned these strips. Damn, focus, man. These strips, and actually removed this little thing here with that screw in the middle. You just take it off and it comes off, and I unplugged it from the other side also, sort of cleaned the connections with a Q-tip. And I also did it for this side, but I don't think that was a problem. What I would recommend you to do is just make sure all of these are properly placed, and push them inside a little bit, try to wiggle them a little bit. But these are extremely delicate, so you have to be careful you don't rip any of these. Just for people that are not too familiarized with electronics, on these over here on the inside, there's actually a brown part on the top. I don't think I'll be able to focus it here, but there's a brown part on the top that if you want to remove this cable, you just pull it upwards, and the whole horizontal thing will go up, and then you can pull the cable outwards. As far as these go, I think these are just in by pressure. I'm not pretty sure. But coming back to this little fella here. So what I started doing was just turning the gears by hand. You see, this gear, as I repeat it, this gear is the manual focus ring, which, if you can see, it turns this one and the last one, which is this one, that is the one that connects with the whole body. But these two don't move. So what I started doing was turning these, and that way I can loosen up the engine, the motor for this. What I'll do right now is there's some more screws here, because I got it to work perfectly. It works amazing, but the only problem is that sometimes if I point towards the roof, and then I point towards the floor, and I tell it to focus on the hell? On both sides. What happens is that I heard like a gear, you know, like a gear wasn't kicking in, like it was grinding or something like that. Yeah, what the hell is wrong with my hand? So yeah, I'm gonna remove it right now, loosen up the screws a little bit just for it to, you know, settle down how it should. And then make sure to put light pressure on this. It's plastic, remember that. Light pressure and well, basically that, right? And try to make it a uniform pattern in which you screw them back on. You know, if you want to go this one, that one, so you actually get it all nice in there. Once you're done, basically all you have to do is put this back in, and it's just, you know, the opposite of what we just did. Screw everything back on. I'll tell you this one was a bitch for me because I didn't know you could remove this black plastic thingy here, but apparently you can. So you can just grab flat screwdriver and then just pull it, you know, pry it down, and then you can get it back up. If you get this thing detached, don't worry, it's not a biggie. But yeah, basically that. Watch it. Don't get this scratched, and well, basically that's it. I'll reassemble it and then try it out for the camera again, just to show you guys that it works. Okay, and last piece of advice in this part where I reassembled the focus motor. What I did is, because that grinding noise made me think like it wasn't, I don't know, maybe it was just that motor itself. But what I did is push it in from the top part of the whole assembly while I screwed it on, just so, because if you push something upwards, the bottom part should come out a little bit, and the gears of the actual focus ring are over here on the bottom. So, well, that's just something minor I did right now. I don't know if it'll make a change, but maybe between all the small changes, you know, the output is good. And I actually cleaned these rails with, you know, these things where all of these four contacts go through. I cleaned it with a Q-tip. Also, be careful not to touch those, because if you pull one upwards or if you leave them too tight on it, it'll just wear the contact zone over there. And these shouldn't be moved. You can see they're factory with the screws. So yeah, I'll just clean it up, make sure there's no dust and stuff like that, or if there is, I can clean it up, and just reassemble, and I'll give it a try. Alright, so I'm all set to reassemble everything. And just one last note, this plastic tab, you have to make sure it goes in that left part of the hole, so that right bracket, well, the bracket in the middle sits at the right of this plastic thing. So it would actually go here, not here, but here. Alright, so I'm done. Lens is mounted, and let's autofocus this. There you go. And let's give it a try right now. I actually don't know if it'll work again. I hope it does, because it was okay. I hope I didn't screw it up again. So let's put live view. If I take this thing off the front, it would be better. And I can hear it working. Yes, it's working. Okay, so here you can see okay. It's kind of annoying with the flash here. But let's choose this. There you go. Let's see. Yep. It's working. You can hear it maybe. Cool. So now what's missing is just trying out if it's still making that noise when I zoom up and I zoom down. But I don't think it will. But at least I got my focus back. It was dead. I'm telling you, I actually hit the lens. I mean, I shook it, I tapped it, I I swore at it, nothing helped. Really, nothing did. And instead of taking it, to a Nikon repair center where they'll probably charge you more than what it costs new, well, I just repaired it, and this may help a lot of you people out there. Just make sure you actually play with the actual motor, the gears, back and forth, and just like loosen them up. I didn't put any lube or anything in there. I don't know, because I didn't see any, so I didn't know if it'll make a mess in there. So I just played with them around a little bit, cleaned up the contacts, made sure everything was plugged in correctly, and it worked. So I hope this helps someone out there, and thank you for watching. If you have any comments, just write them below. Alright, have a great one.